Oh, let's have a look what's in TV today. Oh, what's that? That's a T-Rex, isn't it? Oh, well, let's have a look how this happened. Welcome back everyone to Prehistoric Kingdom and welcome back to the next episode of Flintstone Valley in Prehistoric Kingdom Beta. Today we are going to build a wonderful T-Rex habitat and we are going to have a pretty interesting viewing situation going on here. So the main idea is that we are going to focus on the Flintstones living room that actually gives us a brief glimpse via a TV into the T-Rex habitat. So the main idea about this build in specific is that we are getting a little bit more creative with the theme, you know, and how to play with it. Simply because the T-Rex is a freaking dangerous animal. So at the end of the day, you want to have your guests secured, but also give them a good view. Now, the idea about this is, and specific for kids and maybe some other people that don't want to get too close, you know, they can have a view inside of the habitat via this creative setting. And you can really imagine that this is going to be something that I'm trying to incorporate quite a bit more often in this park to give some more creative ways of looking into it. However, there's also going to be something else together with this specific viewing. The next episode will be 100% focused on viewing areas, but I'm going to talk about that a bit more in the real-time part at around 10-ish minutes into the video. Now, one thing before I go into talk about this build in specific, a huge thank to all of you guys who started to use the super thanks on the channel. Now, super thanks is a new function, and I briefly talked about that recently, but as a matter of fact, it's actually just like the for example, donating at a live stream on Twitch, for example. But the cool bit about this is it's not, you don't have to be live for it. You can basically tip a creator for a certain video if you like the video, and you can choose between, I think it was like €2 or $2 and $50 or whatever. You can choose your amount, and it's directly transferred via YouTube, so the creator gets a good amount of money from it, and you don't have to go via Patreon or Ko-fi or other secondary platforms that I always felt pretty weird to use. And it's a good way to free the creators from the pressure or the naughtiness of the views and stuff. And the reason why I'm talking about this is not because I want you all to use it. Actually, the only reason I'm talking about this is it really gives me a bit more freedom to create more stuff that people appreciate. I can really tell that those people who would like to use the super thanks do it because they really loved the video and because it gave them a solution to a problem they had, or it, you know, granted them inspiration, or it solved a problem in a game that they had, or it was a tutorial that was helpful. And all these things usually don't get that many views from the get-go because these things are only relevant to people who search for it. And hence, in terms of making YouTube videos, for many people that doesn't make too much sense to make those videos because they don't bring in that much ad money. For me personally, I can still do quite a lot of these things because I'm not relying on the money from YouTube. It's a cool little extra, and I'm going to pay all my computer stuff from that. But it's not really that mandatory. But other creators who live from YouTube, for them it's pretty impressive and pretty good because they can now do creative projects that usually in the back in the past didn't give them too much money, and so they needed to focus on well, let's face it, on more simple, clicky content. And I think the Super Thanks is hopefully a tool that will bring YouTube content in a more quality area again, because the better the quality, the more willing people are to thank for it. If they've, you know, got a solution for a problem they had, whatever problem that was, so they're willing to spend some money. So thank you guys who use this, and this will also offer me the chance to do a creative video I was planning for so long, but I didn't do because I didn't have the time for it. But now I'm just taking the time for it, and it's going to be released someday. I'm not going to promise anything because I have no idea how long it's going to take, but it's something really cool I wanted to do for a long time, so look forward to that. It's pretty good. But now let's face what we are doing over here. So You can see I'm building the interior of this little home here. I said it could be the Flintstones living room, but frankly, it could actually be any living room in the Flintstone, like in Bedrock area. So whatever it is. But, you know, this is where really the scaling system comes into play and where you can really become a lot quicker in building. You know, I'm using this one and also create like a little cupboard out of it. And, you know, I'm just going to make like a little bed. It's not like super detailed, but I just wanted to give a bit of context to that building. I didn't want to leave it like completely open and just have the TV over there. The proportions and the sizes are not perfectly fine, but I think this is what you usually would see in a theme park anyways. Sizes and stuff are always adjusted to a certain degree so that it fits the purpose of them. So this shouldn't be like super in scale, because no one would ever use the bed. It's just like a proper kind of scenery item that gives the backdrop to it. I'm still not 100% happy with the outer appearance of this building. I'm still kind of debating with myself if the material is the right one. I wish we would get some more textures in the future that are a bit more like natural stone. I think that would fit the building way better. But I tested something this time around. I'm quite happy with it. Yeah. Now, as I've done that, I started to also consider a bit more of a proper kind of ramp that goes up here, and also making sure that we have a proper staircase to make the whole area just in general look a lot better. And I guess, and this is the point where things become a lot more interesting for the next episodes, this is already the first hint to what is going to happen in episode number 5 and ongoing. I'm going to connect these areas together first of all before we go into a new species. Actually, we will have one new species because this one is going to be needed to make the connection. I'm going to talk about that in the real-time part specifically. But yeah, so you will see. Now, this thing over here is something you can also take as a bit of an inspiration if you want. So with the scaling and free build and stuff, you have the chance to build some cool, kind of really nice shapes. And you can see I'm building like a roundish staircase over here. And I love the fact that this is usable by the guests, even though the guests are pretty much soulless beings in this game at this point, but hopefully in the future they will be a bit more relevant, and so I just used this to create a wonderful staircase, and then just connected that with this area, making this all look a bit more nice. And I guess this is also another little blueprint of how the overall style of this park is going to look. As I said, I'm not going to go full Bedrock style and too crazy into the Flintstone vibes. I'm going to mix and match this with a bit more modern stuff as well, so it's going to be like a theme park Flintstone vibe. And I think for the moment being, I'm really happy with the outcome so far. I think it really fits together well. It doesn't feel out of place. It doesn't feel weird. It also doesn't feel kind of too forced. And I'm really happy with how it all turns out so far. And you can see I'm also using a couple more plants here and there now to bring a bit more greenery in. And then just in general, there's a lot of work to do when it comes to bringing the areas together. But I think as soon as we did this, you will see a bit more of the idea that went into this. I got a lot of things in my back planning how this all should look. So I had some ideas. I laid out the valley, and then I just pinpointed some areas where I wanted to have some of the animals. And this one over here is specifically the T-Rex area, because I wanted to have it a quite large area, also blocking some of the views already, because I want the people to go into this building, of course, so otherwise this wouldn't have made too much sense. And then over here, this is just the beginning to build like a little bit of a security measurement for the T-Rex, so it doesn't walk straight up to the building. So there will be some concrete walls, and we are going to put some fencing in there as well, that I haven't done yet, but I'm going to create some blueprints that we will use throughout the park. So the next episode will actually focus a lot on blueprints and on elements that we will use throughout this entire park. I wanted to do this quite more often in other projects anyways, and so this is going to be like a little test how well that works. And we are still quite early on into this series that I think it makes a lot of sense to just do it now. So that's the reason, and the reason behind why I will focus next episode on something else. Here you can see another example of how nice you can make nature in just a very short amount of time, because it's like super simple to create wonderful looking natural areas with the brushes and then the rocks and recoloring the rocks and the different textures and stuff. It really is a lot of fun doing this because you have so much versatility and it's just so quickly done. There are a couple of things that I hope they will improve over the voxel, or maybe not voxel based terrain, but hopefully in the future it might be, or another solution to make it a bit more versatile. But yeah, for the moment being, that's it from the speed build, but we are going to obviously have a little look into the real-time section and how our T-Rex is going to move through here and how we are going to continue. So if you're interested into that, stick with me, because in a second we are cutting over to the real-time part. So I talk to you after the cut. Alright, here we are in the real-time part, guys, and as you can see, this is the wonderful little building we just built in the time lapse. But if we go really up this hill here, as you can see, or like actually the staircase, there we go into the building, and boom, there you're greeted by the living room. And you can see, oh, look at that! The T-Rex is actually even chilling there on the hill for us. Look at this is amazing. And then if you look through here, you can see, well, this is actually the view you get from this living room. I was even thinking to put like a second viewing in here, or maybe through the cupboard or something like that, but you know, for the moment I'm going to go with this. There's also a second one somewhere. There you go, there's a second one strolling around. And yeah, so this is the habitat, but as I said, it's not finished by any means, but I wanted to quickly talk about what is going to happen in the next episode. So you can see this is our Flintstone Valley so far, and one thing I wanted to do in specific with these two habitats, with the Mammoth and the T-Rex, is kind of giving a border to the left and to the right. This is so to say the natural borders we are going to have to both sides, and a bit of backstage is going to be behind that, but that's about it. And so this is the momental situation, and we are going to have this valley being filled alongside the river. So the main road for the people will be here alongside the river, and this is also why I put the fence here. It's not going to be a fence only, there will be some more viewing, also like towers, just as we have them over here. But one thing I'm going to do next episode is we are going to have some more modern Flintstone mixed viewings, and this is going to be exactly, one is going to be here, very much up here with the restaurant viewing, and another one is going to be down here with the Mammoth, and we are going to have the small area in the middle filled here with the Dinosaurs. I don't know if I completely pronounce that correctly, and also we are going to have another connection down here. So what we're going to do next episode is basically filling in this entire area over here. So from this viewing to this viewing, and it's going to be called the viewing episode. So we're going to have 3 dedicated viewing areas. The first being up here left to the highest peak of the Tyrannosaurus area. We're going to have a very lower area Tyrannosaurus viewing that is also going to be paired with this tour over here. The tour will somehow make its way back here then, and we're going to have another one with the lower area Mammoth area to just check in here. Oh my god, are you just taking the bath? It's quite hot outside today, so you're actually very much allowed to do so. But yeah, so this is today's episode. I really hope you enjoyed that. Let's just stay here for a moment and enjoy the view through the TV. Let's have a look if we can spot the dinosaur from in here. Oh my god, the roar. We can't actually see anyone down here. Let's keep it like this, just watching out of the window. So many thanks for your ongoing support, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did enjoy, as always, the easiest way to support me is by clicking the sub button if you haven't already. And if you did sub already, hit the like button or comment down below. Whatever helps. I really hope you enjoyed this. Please let me know what you think about this idea with the TV. And I'm very much looking forward to talking to you in the next one. So stay safe, have a good time, and goodbye, everyone.